November 24th, stepped-up security, bomb-sniffing dogs, snipers, and thousands of police officers lining the streets as millions flock to New York City. We are live at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade as it kicks off. Thanksgiving triple threat, snow, rain, and ice. 2 storms crisscrossing the country as millions head home for the holidays. What you need to know before you leave the house. And a Thanksgiving message from our president-elect.
It's my prayer that on this Thanksgiving, we begin to heal our divisions and move forward as one country, strengthened by shared purpose and very, very common resolve.
This as his cabinet comes together, and Dr. Ben Carson considers the offer on the table. Fox and Friends First starts right now.
Kristen Fisher.
And I'm Heather Childers. Nice to have you with us.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
And everyone at home as well, if you're working on your turkey right now, happy Thanksgiving, of course. I'm Heather Childers. And we are talking turkey this morning for you. From cooking to carving, we've got you all covered.
Oh, yeah, we do. A Butterball Turkey Talk Line expert is live to help with your turkey troubles. Send us all your questions, email, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
And we are cracking the carving code with an expert carver who is live here in the studio.
But first, it is an annual tradition watched by millions. And this year, extra security is watching as well for the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, as 3 million people line the streets of New York to get a glimpse of the floats and performers.
The NYPD out in full force with 3,000 officers. There are bomb-sniffing dogs, 82 garbage trucks filled with sand and salt to barricade the streets. Rick Reichmuth is live right where the parade kicks off. Hey, Rick. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning and happy Thanksgiving to you all. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Yeah, security is certainly a little bit extra tight this year, and we can feel the effects of that. But the NYPD says it is secure as it always is. They're used to covering events like this, and that this will be the safest place to be anywhere around this morning. Also, the weather is looking really good at this point. Wind is always the biggest problem. You hate to see the wind be very strong because then they can't let the balloons fly very high after a couple of incidences that they've had in the past that have caused some of the balloons to hit some of the power lines. That will not be the case this year. The wind is going to be very, very good. They tested those balloons last week at Citi Field, and last night right here at Central Park West and around the Museum of Natural History, hundreds of thousands of people come out to watch the annual blowing up of the balloons. I will tell you, that has become almost as big of an event as the parade itself for people to come out as they watch to see these balloons being blown up for the first time. Now, they're covered in the netting, and then slowly this morning they will let them loose and begin to run down here, down Central Park West, eventually down 6th Avenue towards the Macy's, where it all ends. One thing that is different with security this year is they are closing down any crosstown traffic. In the past, some of the major thoroughfares they have opened up to at least let cars go through mid-parade. That is not happening anymore. So anybody who is going to be trying to get from one side of Manhattan to the other side is going to have a big problem. Might already be used to that after 5th Avenue has been closed down because of the Trump Tower over the last couple of weeks. But things at this point are just getting started, and a beautiful morning here for the parade. Guys, send it back to you.
Definitely exciting. So what is your favorite balloon, Rick? I know that you're always out there. Which one is your favorite?
Okay, I don't know that I have a favorite, but there are new ones. And a really exciting thing this year they have is Felix the Cat. And this is the 90th year of the parade. And Felix the Cat was the first balloon, was in the parade in that first year. And so they have redone it and built it in the way that they built him back 90 years ago. And instead of being on ropes, it is going to be on poles, tethered. So it's going to be interesting to see a balloon the way that it initially was 90 years ago.
You know what I found interesting, and I didn't know this? They used to let the balloons go up in the air at the end of the parade?
Yeah.
Until one time, it landed in a plane.
It wasn't the big balloons, but they let a bunch of balloons go. And then if somebody who found one of those balloons later, they got a $50 gift certificate to Macy's. But that closed after 3 years. This was back in, I think, 1929 to 31. And they stopped it because one of them hit a plane.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rick. I've never seen the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I'm thrilled to see it in person.
Oh, it's a sight. It's
something
amazing.
to behold. Thank you, Rick. We'll check back with you. Well, united we stand. President-elect Donald Trump urging Americans to come together on this Thanksgiving.
It's my prayer that on this Thanksgiving, we begin to heal our divisions.
And Garrett Tenney, I think, is standing by, right, Kristen?
Hey, Garrett, good morning.
Heather and Kristen, good morning to you. President-elect Trump did not beat around the bush in his Thanksgiving message at all that focused on unity and healing. He acknowledged that for a lot of folks, emotions are still raw after the tough and at times brutal campaign. And he admits that those wounds don't just heal overnight, but in time, he says he hopes the nation will come together again.
This historic political campaign is now over, but now begins a great national campaign to rebuild our country and to restore the full promise of America for all of our people. I'm asking you to join me in this effort. It's time to restore the bonds of trust between citizens, because when America is unified, there is nothing beyond our reach, and I mean absolutely nothing.
Mr. Trump posted that message online last night after making a couple of announcements yesterday, naming 2 women to top posts in his administration. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley is U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, and Betsy DeVos is Secretary of Education. DeVos is a former chairwoman of the Michigan Republican Party and is seen as a national leader in the school choice movement. On Twitter, she said, "I am honored to work with the president-elect on his vision to make American education great again. The status quo and ed is not acceptable. Together, we can work to make transformation, change, to ensure every student has the opportunity to fulfill his or her highest potential." Now, 2 other cabinet picks that could be coming in the next couple of days. Dr. Ben Carson, who was at one point mentioned as a potential pick for Education Secretary, among others, now appears poised to be nominated as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. And billionaire investor Wilbur Ross is rumored to be named as Secretary of Commerce. Neither of those announcements are expected today, though. Instead, Mr. Trump is celebrating the holiday down in Florida with his family at his Mar-a-Lago resort. And, of course, we wish him and all of you a very happy Thanksgiving. Heather and Kristen.
Happy Thanksgiving, Garrett. Good to see you.
Thank you,
Good
Garrett.
to see y'all.
Well, switching headlines now. A 6th child has died following a deadly school bus crash in Tennessee. Investigators now saying that the driver went off of his normal route before the bus swerved off the road, wrapping around a tree in Chattanooga. Well, some new toxicology tests show that 24-year-old driver Jonathan Walker did not have drugs or alcohol in his system. Police say that he was going well over the posted 30-mile-per-hour speed limit, but it's not clear why he was on a different route. As of now, Walker is charged with 5 counts of vehicular homicide.
And a Wayne State University canine officer who was shot in the head has died. 29-year-old Colin Rose was shot just a few blocks from the Detroit campus, marking the 5th attack on law enforcement in less than a week. Suspected gunman, 31-year-old D'Angelo Davis, now in custody. Police are offering a $5,000 reward for the murder weapon. As terror groups warn of new attacks on U.S. soil, the mastermind behind 9/11 reveals al-Qaeda's real strategy to destroy our country. In a new book about interrogating terrorists, jailed Khalid Sheikh Mohammed says that al-Qaeda wanted to use America's lax immigration laws to infiltrate our legal and welfare systems. Al-Qaeda wanted Muslims to, quote, wrap themselves in America's rights and laws for protection and, quote, rise up and violently impose Sharia from within. A holiday nightmare for more than 130,000 current and former American sailors. The Navy announcing a massive security breach. Names and social security numbers stolen from a contractor's laptop by unknown individuals. The breach was discovered nearly a month ago. Affected sailors will be notified in the coming weeks. And the Fox family has one more thing to be thankful for on this holiday, a new addition. Fox and Friends first writer Will Case and his wife Sarah, right there, welcoming their first child, Brett Cameron Case. This beautiful baby boy arrived at 6:30 in the morning yesterday, weighing in at 8 pounds, 9 ounces, and 21 inches. Congratulations and best wishes to the happy family. What a nice Thanksgiving treat. Yeah, that's something to be thankful for sure. Congratulations. Well, the time now is 8 minutes after the top of the hour. And do you remember when Hillary Clinton said this?
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
Well, the turkey on your table, not the only thing to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. The long election is finally over, but not without some political turkeys. We're talking the top 5 next.
And you've been telling us what you are thankful for. Juanita writes, I am so thankful for this amazing family I have.
And Sharon.
Good.
And Sharon.
With the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit in Okinawa, Japan. I want to wish all my friends and family back home in Baltimore, Maryland, a very happy Thanksgiving from all the Marines and sailors with the 31st MEU. I'd like to wish the Baltimore Ravens the best of luck against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Malia and Sasha, by the way, are thankful that this is my final presidential turkey pardon. What I haven't told them yet is that we are going to do this every year from now on. No way I'm cutting this habit cold turkey.
He was on a roll yesterday with the corny jokes. President Obama continuing the long-cherished tradition of pardoning turkeys before Thanksgiving. The two lucky birds named Tater and Tot spared from the dinner table at a Rose Garden ceremony.
Definitely like Tater and Tot. Only this time, first daughters Sasha and Malia, they were no-shows. The White House blaming a scheduling conflict. Instead, the president's two nephews joined him.
Well, that's nice. Spreading the love. So, as families across the country get ready to gather around a well-dressed bird, there's no better time to take a look back at the year's biggest political turkeys.
And here to break it all down for us, the turkeys of 2016 is political strategist Morgan Ortegas. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
So we're starting with someone who was pretty vocal at times during the primary, Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, so she's one of my top 5 turkeys because she likes to claim that she is the white knight of Washington, D.C. as it relates to Wall Street. She eviscerates bank CEOs when they come to her committee. She says she's against Wall Street being involved with politics, but she endorsed Hillary Clinton. And one study showed that for every dollar Trump received in donations from Wall Street and financial services, Hillary Clinton received at least $539. A lot of hypocrisy there.
Now, you have President Obama clocking in at number 4. He obviously didn't get the election result that he wanted, but there is something specific that he said that made you want him to be number 4 on this list. Listen to this.
Governor Romney, I'm glad that you recognize that al-Qaeda is a threat, because a few months ago, when you were asked what's the biggest geopolitical threat facing America, you said Russia. Not al-Qaeda, you said Russia. In the 1980s are now calling to ask for their foreign policy back because the Cold War has been over for 20 years.
So, Morgan, why is he your political turkey?
Well, I think it's obvious from that clip. I think he's regretting what he said in 2012 mightily. As we know, the Obama administration and the Hillary Clinton campaign accused Russia of being involved in leaks that they believe ultimately led to Hillary Clinton's demise. And maybe if he had listened to Mitt Romney 4 years ago, he would have realized that Russia was actually a threat and our enemy.
And Senator Marco Rubio, short circuits, you could say, at the debate. Listen to this.
Let's dispel once and for all with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. But I would add this. Let's dispel with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. So here's the bottom line. This notion that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing is just not true.
There it is.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
There it is, the memorized 25-second speech.
Well, that's the reason why this campaign is so important.
Wow, there's a lot of material that you can pick from for everyone, but Marco Rubio specifically.
That was pretty bad, and I like Marco Rubio. I feel bad for him, but that had to be one of the most painful debate performances that we saw of the entire election cycle. He could just not get out of that rut, and Chris Christie looked like a dog with a bone.
He was waiting for it. Yeah.
That was tough to watch. Number 2, Hillary Clinton obviously has to be on this list, but there was something she said in particular that really stood out.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it. Now, some of those folks, they are irredeemable, but thankfully they are not America.
Yeah, the turkey of the year.
Yeah, so for Hillary Clinton, I think that was this cycle's 49% quote, so to speak. I think that's probably, of everything that happened this cycle, that's probably going to be what she regrets the most.
All All right, so number one, though, is actually not a politician. It is the mainstream media.
No. The media, the corporate elite, the Washington elite, everybody got it wrong this year, and they should have seen it coming, but they were so out of touch with the average American people that everyone had their head in the sand and thought it was incredulous that Donald Trump could win. So the biggest turkey is all of the elite that looked down on him. They were all wrong.
Yeah, media doing a lot of soul searching.
Well, and what's crazy is they all seem to be still doing the same thing, a lot of them, and then also a lot of folks repeating what you heard there from Hillary Clinton. So, she didn't lead by example.
It should be a fun Thanksgiving dinner for most people tonight.
Oh, it'll be feisty for sure at dinner tables across the country. Thank you so much, Morgan.
Thank you.
Well, the time is now 17 minutes after the hour. Fiery explosion, and that's not a pocket full of fireworks, but an e-cigarette bursting into flames in a man's pants. The urgent warning now being issued. Ouch.
And cracking the carving code. We have an expert carver live for us here in the studio with everything that you need to know to carve the best bird.
Sharpening his knives. And what are you thankful for? Well, Ron and Cindy from Palm Harbor, Florida, writing to us. We are very thankful for our granddaughter, Skylar. She was a preemie, and doctors said she was a miracle baby. We are very blessed.
And then Penny tweets, I'm thankful for my children and my grandchildren. Greatest love. Aw, happy Thanksgiving. Turkey, of course, the star of everyone's Thanksgiving. But if you're still maybe a little bit clueless about how to carve it, the perfect one, don't worry.
Here with 4 simple tips and tricks, master butcher and author of the Everyday Meat Guide, Ray Venezia. Ray, thanks so much for being with us. Happy Thanksgiving. And I just got to say, I'm completely clueless when it comes to this. I've actually never carved a turkey before. So, so I'm a clean slate.
Well, I don't know what I'm saying. I haven't either, except for here once a year.
Well, the funny thing is, I never did it professionally as a butcher, but I did it at home. They always waited for me to get there after the day's work and come home, and the turkey be sitting there waiting for me.
So where do we start?
It starts with the all-important 15-minute at least rest. You want the meat to absorb back the flavor. You want it to cool down a little bit so that you can use your hand, not a fork, where you're piercing and more of the flavor is running out of the turkey.
So don't jump the gun. You got to wait.
Use your hand. Don't pierce it with a fork.
Yeah, you know you waited long enough when you can touch it with your hand. It's still warm, but you can use your hand instead of having to pierce it with a fork. Then you're going to start with the leg. So you can open up the back and the breast underneath will dry. And you do that, you're always using just the very tip of the knife. And at a little angle, you're running against the body, and at the same time, you're pushing lightly with your hand.
You need to look, because we're going to carve off later.
I'm really studying.
Separate. Now, you can't cut through bone, so what you're looking for is where the bone connects, the joint. And that's where you're going to cut through, and you're going to take the leg off. Okay? When the leg comes off, you have the drum and the thigh. It's like a V shape. Right in that bend is where that is going to be, and you're going to cut that. Okay? And put your drum out there. Then in here is just a straight bone that runs like this. So you're just going to open it up. Butchers always open things up so we can see.
See, now that's getting complicated.
Yeah,
now
I had you at the beginning.
You're just going to grab this, and you're just going to run the tip of the knife.
Yeah,
and
just like that.
Spin the bone as you do it. That's all. And it'll all just come right off. Okay. Once you get that bone out, then you can slice your dark meat up, and it goes right on your platter.
All right.
Then you're going to take a piece of the wing off.
Oh, the wing. Okay.
So this way it's out of your way.
Okay.
Okay. You leave the one little piece on so it has stability. Now you're going to take the breast off in one piece. Okay.
Oh man, I have a feeling this is
the bone in the middle. You're just going to go on the side of the bone, and with the tip, you're just going to run it along that bone, just the tip. That's all. So you can get your hand in here, and now open a little bit. This bone is curved. So with the tip of the knife, as you're pulling away a little bit, you're just going to follow it with
so
the
you have
tip
to have a
of the
really
knife.
Sharp knife. Also,
yeah, the tip.
Sharp knife helps.
Yeah, you got to really get in there. You're really pulling it open.
Well, I'm kind of pulling a little bit. You don't want to rip the meat, but again, just the tip is freeing it from the bone, so it comes off in one nice, solid piece, which allows you then to slice it correctly. You want to peel your skin back because a crisp skin will dull your knife.
What about a power knife?
Yeah, speaking of knives,
work better?
Is that better? The power knife?
I don't think so.
No,
because
just a good old-fashioned knife.
It's not a way to
because
chew
you're looking, you can't really get into the small area like that.
Okay.
Now, the most important thing with the breast is you see these lines.
So you
That's
slice it
the way
that
it's right.
direction.
You want to go against that.
Okay.
So you're going to have the big end showing, you're going to hold it a little bit, and all you're going to do is slice right against that. And when you slice your breast meat against it,
okay.
we have mashing teeth.
Oh, that looks
By
great.
doing that, you see it'll pull. That's why it'll feel tender.
Okay.
So the reason we're studying this so closely is because we're going to have a carve-off at the end of the show. Heather's been talking a lot of smack.
It's going to be fun.
It's on.
All right. Thanks, Ray. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to make sure, importantly, 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch is what you want to slice, not paper thin. It'll dry before you even get to the table.
And thank you to your lovely wife for cooking these for us.
Yeah, a lot of work involved in cooking these turkeys.
Smells so good. All right,
Thank you, Ray.
We'll see you back here in just a little bit. But the time right now is 5:26, almost the bottom of the hour, and unprecedented security, bomb-sniffing dogs, snipers, and thousands of police officers lining the streets.
We are live as millions of people flock to New York City for the famous Macy's parade.
You should be back.
That's right, tomorrow is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And if there's one thing that can cheer Hillary up right now, it's balloons.
That's a good one. Yes, going back to the convention.
And Bill Clinton during the convention with the balloons
He was so
hysterical.
excited. Good morning to you. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm Heather Childers.
And I'm
nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me. Still thrilled to be here. I'm Kristen Fisher. Thanks for starting your day with us. And it is an annual tradition watched by millions. And this year, extra security is watching as well for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
There's one of my favorites, Spidey. Well, as 3 million people are expected to line the streets of New York to get a glimpse of all the floats, all the performers. But on top of that, the NYPD, thankfully, will be out in full force with 3,000 officers. There will also be some bomb-sniffing dogs and 82 garbage trucks. And they'll be filled with sand and salt, Kristen, to barricade the streets. Keep us safe.
That is a ton of trucks. Rick Reichmuth is live right where the parade kicks off. Hey, Rick, happy Thanksgiving.
Good morning.
Happy Thanksgiving and good morning. Yeah, they say this is one of the safest places you could probably be anywhere because of all the security, and that it's just another day in New York City where they're used to covering security like this. We're up here at 77 in Columbus. It's kind of the beginning of the parade route right at the Museum of Natural History. It's kind of fun to be at this spot because you get to see all the balloons in one spot together, all of the floats, and very shortly all of the clowns and the bands and everybody will be right here at this very spot. Beginning to see all of the excitement for the parade. But this is the big day. Security, obviously, one of the big concerns, but they're feeling very good that they have things under control, including not allowing any crosstown traffic. In the past, some of the major thoroughfares, like 42nd Street, have been open to crosstown traffic. That has been closed down this year. So Manhattan, which is a little bit tough on traffic at any point, is going to be even a little bit more tough today. Although everybody's just going to be along the parade route. 3.5 million people here enjoying this. Weather for it looking really good. Sometimes you have very cold and windy times, and when that happens, they have to keep the balloons really, really low because they can't have them waving high in the air. This today, because winds are going to be, I think, under 10 miles an hour, we are going to be looking just fine. Weather-wise, by the way, for the rest of the country, show you a weather map. We're looking good today. Most of the country is going to be seeing a spectacular sunny day. A little bit of rain, a little bit of snow across the northeast, but it's going to be pretty light. And then out across the west, we are going to watch a couple of systems pulling in. So coastal areas of Northern California, Oregon, and Washington dealing with some rain and some mountain snow, which they need. Aside from that, everybody is looking good. That same pattern holds true for tomorrow. If anybody's looking ahead, I think, guys, a lot of people do some shopping tomorrow. I can't imagine it, but they do it. It's going to be looking pretty good.
Not me. I will be resting after eating a lot of turkey.
Oh, yeah, I'll be working, but I will be resting.
Thank you so much, Rick. Have fun.
Thanks, Rick. Well, united we stand. President-elect Donald Trump urging Americans to come together this Thanksgiving.
It's my prayer that on this Thanksgiving, we begin to heal our divisions.
Garrett Tenney is live in Washington, D.C. with that and some new cabinet picks. Another day, some more announcements. Good morning, Garrett.
Good morning, Heather and Kristen, and that's likely what we'll continue to see over the next couple of weeks. Now, you'll remember throughout the campaign, though, we heard Mr. Trump say time and again how he wanted to make America the greatest it's ever been. Well, in his Thanksgiving message to the country, he repeated that idea, but said before that can happen, we need to heal and come together.
We've just finished a long and bruising political campaign. Emotions are raw and tensions just don't heal overnight. It doesn't go quickly, unfortunately. But we have before us the chance now to make history together, to bring real change to Washington, real safety to our cities, and real prosperity to our communities, including our inner cities.
Earlier in the day, Mr. Trump added some diversity to his administration with the nomination of 2 women to top posts. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley as U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations and Betsy DeVos as Secretary of Education. Many Republicans were quick to praise DeVos's nomination. She is a former chairwoman of the Michigan Republican Party and a national leader in the school choice movement. On Twitter, DeVos said, quote, "I am honored to work with the president-elect on his vision to make American education great again. The status quo in education is not acceptable. Together, we can work to make transformational change to ensure every student has the opportunity to fulfill his or her highest potential." We're also now hearing Mr. Trump has finalized his picks for 2 other cabinet posts as well, which could be announced in the next couple of days. Dr. Ben Carson is the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, and billionaire investor Wilbur Ross is rumored to be named as Secretary of Commerce. No announcements expected today, though, as the Trump family celebrates Thanksgiving at the Mar-a-Lago Resort down in Florida. Happy Thanksgiving to them, as well as all of you. Heather and Kristen.
Thanks so much, Garrett. Yes, happy Thanksgiving. Harold Ford Jr., another name being tossed around yesterday. Thank you.
Thanks.
You got it.
Well, across the globe, our brave servicemen and women who cannot be with their families, they're celebrating Thanksgiving on bases and on ships all over the world.
Aboard the USS Eisenhower, sailors are feasting on nearly 5,000 pounds of turkey and 1,000 pounds of ham, plus all the fixings. And what is Thanksgiving without football?
Yes, and troops in Afghanistan taking part in this Turkey Bowl, and this is at Bagram Airfield. So thank you for your service and happy Thanksgiving to all of those folks.
Just because they're overseas, you can't stop the football tradition,
and their families who are missing them as well.
Well, the time is now 5:35. And a motive behind the madness. Why Kanye West could score a $30 million payout from his breakdown.
And, is your turkey still frozen? Well, apparently you don't have to worry, because a Butterball expert is here to help. And we're answering all your questions up next. It's going to be very busy today.
And you've been telling us what you are thankful for. Robert from Nike, New York writes, "I'm a proud American who is grateful for all the blessings of life and liberty. I'm especially thankful for my sister Ursula and my dog Lucy."
Hi Ursula. Hi Lucy. And Anthony on Facebook writes, "I am thankful that new leadership and a new direction is coming for the country come January."
Hi, I'm Cadet Ryan Connors here at the Air Force Academy. I just want to give a shout out to my family and everyone who served in the military before me. Happy Thanksgiving. Go Bama. Roll Tide.
All right, guys, do not let this Thanksgiving nightmare happen to you.
Save the neck for me, Clark. Okay, Eddie.
The pressure is on, but it is not too late. If you need some turkey help, we have got it. And it's not us providing the help.
No, definitely. You do not want my advice on this topic. We've got Butterball Turkey Talk Line expert Janice Stahl. She's here to answer all of your turkey questions.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving.
Janice.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Rescue has arrived.
Yes. Yes. So our first question for you, how do I know if my turkey is done? How do I insert the thermometer?
Oh, super easy. So you're going to check the thigh, and you want the thigh to be up to 180. You want the breast to be at 165. And if you have it stuffed, check the stuffing for 165. And we have great videos on butterball.com that actually show you where to put the thermometer for placement.
Okay. And hopefully not a lot of people are waking up with this problem this morning. The turkey's still frozen.
Oh, unfortunately people are.
Oh, no.
But we can get you through that. What you're going to do is fill your sink with some cool tap water. You're going to place the turkey in the packaging, breast side down. You're going to change that water every 30 minutes, and we can get it defrosted. It's about 30 minutes per pound. You can actually cook a partially frozen turkey turkey, so we can get you through it. And if you need any help, we're texting today too, so you can always text us.
Oh, that's good.
It's going to take some time. If
Yeah.
you have a frozen turkey,
well,
you need
Bill
to budget
Himmer
for
has
that.
a 20-pound turkey, so 30 minutes for every, what, half a pound, you said?
Yeah, 30 minutes a pound.
Oh, okay. That's a lot.
It'll take a while.
So, do I need to cook the stuffing before I place it inside the turkey?
No, not at all. Not at all. You can, as long as you're just using bread and things like that, if you're using egg or if you're using sausage, things like that, like sausage is in one of mine, then yes, it's fully cooked.
Okay, so how do I roast my turkey so it gets those golden brown tan lines? Because apparently it's headed for spring break in Cabo.
Absolutely. Yeah. On Facebook, it's all the rage.
The shape of that turkey bikini.
No.
You just cut out a little bikini out of tin foil, place it over the turkey, and when you put it in the oven, it all stays in place. And when you take it out, you peel the tin foil off, and bingo.
Wait, are you messing with me? Is this seriously
I guess
a thing?
it's a thing. I didn't know it was a thing.
No, this is an actual thing. I know.
What?
People really do this.
All right, I want to see that. Somebody that does that, send us a picture, please.
That's crazy. I can't believe people are putting that much time into that. All right. So how do I get my turkey to stop sudsing? Is a soapy turkey recoverable?
Yeah. No.
That's a launch. You're done
on that.
So it's better to have a frozen turkey than a sudsy turkey.
Absolutely.
Why would
That
it
we
be
can recover
sudsy?
from.
Yeah.
Why would someone get their sudsy turkey?
A lot of people want to wash them. They think that you need to wash
Really?
them. Do not wash your turkey, please.
Yeah, I think I saw that in a movie, actually. All right. Thank you so much. I know we're going to have a lot more questions headed your way.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good.
We'll have plenty.
Yes. And
Thanks
we'll
so much.
be right back here, so don't go far. We're going to have our turkey cart ball.
Yeah, I'm going to get you, Heather. I'm going to feed you.
Comedy or dramedy or drama or whatever, that I thought I would just tell a story and see what happens. With me, it's usually a cast, and the level of intelligence and integrity and wit and humility that these two have, I thought, oh, that's a love story that I'm interested in.
May I give you some advice?
Yes.
Never trust anybody.
When you arrived in Hollywood, what was your experience like at that time? Somewhat similar to these guys?
When I came to Hollywood, I was lucky because I had a good start. And then I was about to do the Kazan movie, and I was lucky. And then the movie worked. And then I think the big word that comes into play would be access. The access to the people that you would want to learn the most from in Hollywood. Great directors, great producers, and actors. I do think that young actors and actresses will be directing and producing movies sooner than people of my generation.
Warren Beatty until he met Annette Bening. It was game over.
Yeah, I was saying, are they still married? They've
They
been married
are.
for a long
They're doing
time
really well.
now.
Yeah, they're an incredible couple. You can check out FoxNewsMagazine.com for more of my celebrity interviews, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at FoxLightMichael, and we'll have more of that interview later on this morning around 6:15. I think,
All right,
on Fox
well,
and Friends.
stay tuned for that. Happy Thanksgiving, by the
to you.
way.
I know.
Yeah. You're headed out to dinner, though.
Absolutely, fluid.
All right, you're cheating. Thank you so much. Well, the time now is about 10 minutes until the top of the hour, and the countdown is about to begin. We are putting our new skills to the test in a carving competition. Kristen, that's not fair. You better not be practicing.
You've never seen Heather with a knife.
Who can carve the best bird? Do not miss that. Up next. But now some more of your messages. Look at that. A proud father, Derek, tweets these two. I am so grateful for. We can tell why. And our stage manager, Matt Rodriguez, thankful for his expanding family. What? New baby Thomas and puppy Derby. Oh, so cute. But first, let's check in with Clayton Morris. I believe he's standing by with what's coming up on Fox and Friends. Happy Thanksgiving, Clayton.
Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Yeah, we've got a jam-packed show. This is my favorite show of the year to do on Fox and Friends. We've got some best Black Friday deals. I'm going to be showing you some best gadgets. There's like hundreds of dollars off. Some TVs, some Wi-Fi routers, some awesome stuff I'm going to show you. Plus, we're going to do a little turkey carve off here. I know Abby thinks that she's going to try to beat my streak this year. Ed Henry thinks he's going to try to beat my streak. It's not going to happen. It's coming up in just a few minutes here on Fox and Friends. 9 minutes until the start of our show. We'll see you a little bit later, folks.
Turkey in it. I want to find out.
We should
Google
find
that.
out if we just have a little more time. We could play them all on the show.
A live shot preps of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade here in New York City, which gets underway around 9 a.m. There's one of the many floats that will be headed down the road here.
My family is going to be out on the parade route watching. They've never seen it before. This is a big deal for
it
us.
is definitely fun. And for others who aren't necessarily thinking about a parade, the Mad Holiday Dash is on for shoppers looking to score big on Black Friday deals. But more than 36 retailers, they're actually keeping their doors closed today in the name of family.
Thank goodness. It's about time. I'm not a fan of Black Friday. Some of the stores include Costco, Nordstrom, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Cabela's, GameStop, Dillard's, Hobby Lobby, Staples, and Sam's Club.
That's a lot, but there are some stores that are open. For those of you that want to brave it, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, all of those will be open.
So to shop or not to shop on Thanksgiving, a hot topic for our viewers. Shirley says, long overdue. Maybe there's hope people will once again really put into perspective their priorities, the importance of family over the greed of business. Thank you, Shirley. I agree.
And then Barry says, that's just great. Now I have no excuse for leaving immediately after eating. No, you do not.
No. So Gary says stores should be closed. Thanksgiving is a time for family and reflection.
And then Dave says, not every person is against working holidays. A number of them do it for the extra pay. And that is a good point.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Especially before the holidays when everybody's spending money.
Well, however you do it, we hope you have a good one. And what would Thanksgiving be without a little pigskin action?
Oh, yeah. Start off your football feast with an appetizer of the Vikings and Lions in Detroit at 12:30 Eastern Time. For your main course, the Dallas Cowboys.
That team with the best record in football. They face off against their NFC East rivals, the Washington Redskins. That game is at 4:30 Eastern, and it is on Fox.
That is what we will be watching in my family. And for dessert, the Pittsburgh Steelers roll into Indianapolis to take on the Colts, who will be without star quarterback Andrew Luck at 8:30.
Ooh, all right. But right now, earlier in the show, we learned how to carve the perfect bird, and now we are putting our skills to the test with a Fox and Friends First Facebook. Fox and Friends First carve off.
I don't know if we learned.
We tried
getting
to learn.
Ready. I'm getting suited up here.
All right. So Ray, you're back. Just very briefly. Nope. Okay. We're going to start. Actually. We're going to start. We're going to start right now. So you stand there.
Let's get the countdown clock.
Make sure we don't hurt ourselves. Okay. Countdown clock is on.
And 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
All right. I'm going with the leg. I remember you said that first.
Angle against the body.
Slight angle. Oh, man, this is
Perfect.
harder than I thought. Oh, wait. Yep.
In the middle there.
And the drumstick. Ha-ha. There we go.
Very good.
I can't remember. Impressive. Yes. Now what? What do I do now?
Remember, this was the debone part.
We're gonna do that. That's okay,
that just
right?
put on your platter. Get to the
good,
breast
right?
piece of breast.
Yeah.
That was really good. You did it
I'm just gonna go straight for the breast.
Be careful. Oh, we're out of time? No, we're out of time.
That was it.
Oh, I think we're out of time. All right. Well, that's all anybody gets to
That's
eat.
it. I only got a drumstick.
Who won? Who won?
Well, I think you won because
you didn't know
you followed through with the thigh and you were right in there with the breast.
Yeah.
You kind of like started hand doing it. So
I had bad
I would have to
form
give,
and I was
give
using
the
my
nod to you, but I have to tell you, I don't think I could do it in 30 seconds.
Well,
totally.
No,
So
I will
that's
say,
pretty quick.
This turkey, it just falls off the bone. You don't even need a knife. You could do this almost with a butter knife. That's a good turkey.
I haven't eaten meat in three months,
I
but
know
I
you
might.
said that.
I'm not. I can't do it. I can't. But it does smell delicious.
It does. Well, I have eaten meat, so I'm going to taste it. It's very good. You can take over.
Oh, I might. All right.
No, I said you can take over. I'm not forcing you to eat.
At least you're eating leaner meat, so you're starting with the right thing.
It's Thanksgiving. I'm allowed to have one piece of meat, okay?
Yeah. Well, have a great Thanksgiving.
You too.
Thank
you for having me again. Thank you.
And we hope you have a good Thanksgiving, too.
Fox and Friends starts right now.
Bye.
Good morning. It is Thursday, November 24th, 2016. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I'm Abby Huntsman. What holiday hiatus? Major moves from Team Trump. The president-elect welcoming another woman to his White House team. Who is it? Let's just say the unions aren't going to like this one.
And on this holiday, a message from the president-elect.
It's my prayer that on this Thanksgiving, we begin to heal our divisions and move forward as one country, strengthened by shared purpose and very, very common resolve.
Wait, Donald Trump is calling for healing? There are some people in the mainstream media who are not going to like that.
And speaking of the media, it turns out they're not so thankful.
I believe in being truthful, not neutral. We have to be prepared to fight, especially hard right now, for the truth.
But whose truth? And are we surprised? Fox and Friends begins right now.
I will try not to sing out of
messages. And what's interesting to me is that I didn't hear the media a lot, back then saying, what is Barack Obama doing, going around us,
right,
with his own photos, he's got his own photographer who put out these wonderful images of him behind the scenes, the videos that he would throw out there. And so now Donald Trump is doing it, and you're starting to hear, what is this about? He's going around us. And there's a little bit more anger because it seems like the media wants a fight, just as he's talking about unity. So
yeah, well, he did sit down with the New York Times just a couple of days ago.
And he sat down with the Wall Street Journal
and the Wall Street Journal, and they were tweeting out about that whole interview process. You do have to say that he is talking to the media.
However,
he will have to do press conferences. But this tone that we've heard from Mr. Trump since he's won has been one of unifying this country. Which you look back at the campaign, and I think everyone is ready for it.
It was tough.
Sort of
it was
coming
nasty.
Together. It was nasty.
However, if you look at press media websites over the past week, they are trying to raise money. They're saying we need to cover the Trump presidency. We want it to be fair. We're going to fight fair and free journalism. Donate money to us. Subscribe to us. You're hearing this from Slate Magazine, New York Times, other places. And Christiane Amanpour yesterday at a press freedom event, at CNN's press freedom event, had this to say. Listen.
That is how it goes with authoritarians around the world, like Sisi, like Erdogan, like Putin, like the Ayatollahs. First, the media is accused of inciting, then sympathizing, then associating, and then suddenly they find themselves accused of being full-fledged terrorists and subversives, and then they end up in handcuffs, in cages, in kangaroo courts, in prisons, and then who knows what. We have to be prepared to fight, especially hard right now, for the truth.
I think the biggest takeaway from this entire election was this disconnect that exists clearly between the media and much of this country that was obviously feeling very differently about what they wanted for their next president.
That's such a good point.
But Larry O'Connor was on Tucker Carlson last night basically saying, hey, media, take a look in the mirror. It could actually be your problem. Take a listen to what he had to say.
The real threat to journalism is the fact that they were so wrong about what they told us was the truth of this election. They focused how many months on polls that they've now found were in error. They never really talked about issues. They didn't talk about what these candidates were saying and what they stood for. They talked about their own narrative, and they continue to do so. That's the threat to journalism because the American people, as she pointed out, they're ignoring them now. They don't trust them.
And remember James Rosen? I mean, we're talking about the Obama administration. You remember James Rosen? Do you remember what happened with the Obama administration and looking into Fox News?
Being targeted, phone records and all of that. And there were some journalists who stood up, but not the way you're seeing now. Like, let's stand up to Donald Trump.
Why do you think that is, Ed? What are they struggling with so much?
I want to go back to Christiane Amanpour here, because I think Larry O'Connor made an important point about trust, and that is an important issue here. But for Christiane Amanpour to basically compare Donald Trump to various dictators, an Ayatollah and Erdogan in Turkey, who is a strong man, basically, and then saying if you stand up to these kind of men, what happens is you wind up in cages if you're a reporter. Okay, maybe in Turkey, but the idea that here in the United States, reporters are going to wind up in cages? Cages?
Well, she talks about truth being this arbiter of truth, and whose truth? To your point about middle America, and when you're out there at these rallies, and they're saying, look, there's signs everywhere for Trump, and the mainstream media is saying it's Hillary Clinton territory, or that she's up in the polls, and the people that are living in these towns are saying, where are the Hillary Clinton supporters? I don't even see them in my backyard, but that's what the media is telling us.
That's exactly what we've heard, and we've been out at these diners across the country, and that's when I've really realized the disconnect, when I hear from these voters and then I'm watching different channels and reading different papers, and I'm like, there's something going on here that they're just not understanding what the voters are actually feeling, what they're wanting.
I have some friends who own restaurants around the country.
I would love
they keep
that.
saying, why has Abby not come to my restaurant?
Email me.
And I'm not kidding. I have restaurants. They want you there.
I will serve them coffee.
We're going to do a tour
of pancakes. I'm getting pretty good at making pancakes these days, but we do want to get
You're better at this.
We have a lot more to get to this morning, because President-elect Donald Trump diversifying his cabinet, tapping a second high-profile woman to join his team.
Yeah, Garrett Tenney is live for us in Washington, D.C. with the latest on Mr. Trump's newest pick this morning. Garrett, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving and good morning to y'all. You know, both of these latest picks have made a lot of Republicans very happy. We now know that Betsy DeVos will be President-elect Trump's nominee to head the Department of Education. DeVos, who is a former chairwoman of the Michigan Republican Party, brings a deep background in education reform with her. She's a longtime advocate and national leader in the school choice movement. Her husband is heir to the Amway fortune, and the couple has been very active in Republican politics for decades. Even some of Mr. Trump's harshest critics are praising this decision. On Twitter, Jeb Bush said she is an outstanding pick for Secretary of Education. I look forward to her bold leadership at the U.S. Department of Education. And Bill Kristol wrote, very excited about Betsy DeVos as Education Secretary. Could be strongest since my boss Bill Bennett, and Betsy will have a far more cooperative Congress. DeVos has been a strong supporter of Common Core standards, though, something that Mr. Trump has been very opposed to. The Trump team says that it is his agenda that she will be pushing, not her own, though. Back to y'all.
All right, that's an important distinction there. Gary,
all right, thanks
for
Garrett.
that. We'll see you soon.
We want to get right over now to Kristen Fisher on this Thanksgiving morning with some headlines.
Good
Happy
morning,
Thanksgiving.
Kristen.
Good morning.
Saw you trying to carve that turkey this morning.
I know. I even ate a piece of meat, and I haven't eaten meat in 3 months.
How do you feel?
The things you do for live television, right? Well, happy Thanksgiving to all of you at home, but I'm afraid I have some sad news to start out with. A 6th child has died following a deadly school bus crash in Tennessee. Investigators now saying the driver went off of his normal route before the bus swerved off the road, wrapping around a tree in Chattanooga. New toxicology tests show the 24-year-old driver, Jonathan Walker, didn't have drugs or alcohol in his system. Police say he was just going over the speed limit, about 30 miles an hour over the speed limit, but it's not clear why he was on a different route. He now faces vehicular homicide charges. A Wayne State University canine officer who was shot in the head has died. 29-year-old Colin Rose was shot just a few blocks from the Detroit campus, marking the 5th attack on law enforcement in less than a week. Suspected gunman, 31-year-old D'Angelo Davis, now in custody. Police are offering a $5,000 reward for the murder weapon. And snow and rain could snag Thanksgiving travel plans all over the U.S. Northern New York and New England are expecting snowfall and light icing, while snow and strong winds are expected in Northern California into Washington State. 49 million people are hitting the road for Thanksgiving, while nearly 4 million are packing airports from coast to coast. And across the globe, our brave servicemen and women who can't be with their families are celebrating Thanksgiving on bases and ships. Aboard the USS Eisenhower, sailors are feasting on nearly 5,000 pounds of turkey and 1,000 pounds of ham, plus all the good fixings. And what is Thanksgiving without football? Troops in Afghanistan taking part in the Turkey Bowl at Bagram Airfield. Those are your headlines. And guys, what would Thanksgiving be without football? One of the perks of working the early shift is you can go watch football.
Football all day. Just
what would it be without football or turkey? Kristen Fisher coming to New York and trying to celebrate Thanksgiving as a vegetarian, and we're having none of it.
What a
frankly.
trooper. What a trooper. Hey, take one for the team.
Good. This show will knock vegetarianism out of you real fast.
That's very true. All right, still ahead, and it's a big show today. More on President-elect Trump's latest cabinet member picks. Can they make it through the Senate confirmation process? We're going to take a closer look at that.
And the liberal protesters blocking an oil pipeline are in desperate need of some donations right now. That apparently includes necessities like MacBooks, fur blankets, and snowmobiles. Really? You need MacBooks. You got to donate to these guys.
President-elect Donald Trump diversifying his cabinet, appointing the first 2 women. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley was picked to be the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, and charter school advocate Betsy DeVos was tapped for education secretary. Their positions require Senate confirmation. So what should we know about them? Here to break it down, Fox News contributor Lisa Booth. Good morning and happy Thanksgiving.
Hi, Ed. Happy Thanksgiving.
Great to talk to you. Let's first talk about the nominee to be education secretary. It seems like she is somebody who is going to shake up the establishment and is not afraid to take on the teacher unions.
Well, that's exactly right. She's been a leader in the school choice movement, serving on the Americans for Federation, or what is it, the American Federation for Children, has been the organization she's led, which is a leading advocate of school choice. She's even earned praise from some of Donald Trump's fiercest critics, like Senator Ben Sasse, who is very outspoken and part of the Never Trump movement against Donald Trump. Yeah, she's been a leading advocate on school choice. She even spoke at a forum at the Republican National Convention in Ohio about school choice and saying that teacher unions have really been holding back innovation in regards to education in the country. So she might be met with some criticism, obviously from the left, which could make potentially a Senate confirmation a little bit difficult for her because she's been a fierce critic of teacher unions in this country.
And Betsy DeVos also put on Twitter, quote, "I am honored to work with the president-elect on his vision to make America great again. The status quo in ed is not acceptable. Together, we can work to make transformational change to ensure every student has the opportunity to fulfill his or her highest potential." But interesting as well, she has spoken out before in favor of Common Core, something that Donald Trump said he would do away with. I wonder, more big picture, what do you think about the fact that Donald Trump seems to be sort of moderating some positions, having an open mind, which his critics said he did not have? So in one way, that may be a positive. On the other hand, there are some conservatives who might be a little worried about him being too flexible.
Well, I don't think we know that yet. I mean, remember during the general election, there was so much talk about Donald Trump is going to change his stance on immigration. That was sort of what was leading on some other networks as well, national headlines on the hour, every hour about Donald Trump's going to change his stance on immigration, which has been a centerpiece of his candidacy. And he didn't. And he gave that big speech and came out in the same position that he had been holding on immigration for quite some time. So I don't think we know that yet.
Sure.
And regarding this choice specifically, Donald Trump put out a $20 billion initiative on school choice. This is in line with that. He's also said that he is against Common Core. She has since put out a statement reiterating that she is also against Common Core. So I don't think we quite know that yet. I assume this might come up during the confirmation hearing, so we'll probably learn more.
Lisa, real quick, Nikki Haley, the mainstream media seems to want to focus on, well, she took the Confederate flag down in South Carolina. Just define her by that. This is a woman, a female governor, who has a record that goes far beyond that.
Well, absolutely. She's the first female governor in South Carolina, the first minority governor in South Carolina. She is the youngest governor in our nation's history at 44 years old. And the Donald Trump campaign, or Donald Trump-elect transition team, put out a statement touting her ability to go negotiate on behalf of South Carolina internationally and bring those jobs, particularly manufacturing jobs, back to South Carolina. She did that with Volvo, and Volvo, a Swedish company, actually brought a manufacturing plant to South Carolina, which is the first time they did in the United States. It was very competitive, and she was able to successfully bring a $500 million manufacturing plant for Volvo cars to South Carolina. So they've touted that ability to go meet with international companies, bring that business back to her state, and that is something that she's been very successful at.
Lisa Booth, digging into some more details, giving us a fuller account of some of these nominees. We appreciate you doing that this morning, and happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for starting with us today on Fox & Friends. Good to see you. Meanwhile, Mexico says they will not pay for President-elect Donald Trump's wall, but we just learned that might happen whether they like it or not. And all eyes on 6th Avenue, not far from where I'm standing, as New York City prepares for the famous Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Rick Reichmuth is there, live for a sneak peek. You can see him out there. People are already gathering to see Rick and also maybe to see a few floats. We'll get to him next.